Everything you've heard about the KISS years and the KISS stage shows and the spectacle is true. It's not a legend. We're going to show every new band how the big
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Right Between the Eyes podcast, a KISS podcast with 3 generations of KISS fans telling you why we love it loud. This is RBTE V2. See how that works? V2. This is the Creatures of the Night 40th anniversary. We got some Spock going on here. 40th anniversary unboxing, as we're calling it, unboxing the creature. So let's just introduce everybody here. Of course, you know who these 2 guys are. I wouldn't do the show without the 2 co-hosts, Nick and Nico Caruso. How are you guys doing in this creature?
Man.
Good, man. I was going to try to make a Creatures of the Night
That's
pun,
all right.
but couldn't do it. Didn't come to me fast enough.
Same here. You could tell I started doing jazz hands.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know why I was doing jazz hands. Creatures of the Night unboxing. So let's just get through the social medias out. If you're watching this on YouTube, of course you are right now. We're doing special episodes, and we figured it's been a year almost since we have done the Destroyer box set, and we were still primarily doing audio only. So let that sink in. It's been a year since Destroyer has come out. So we thought we would do it here so you can kind of see the goodies. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it, but you're going to get a chance to watch us go through it. More on that in just a second. But let's go through our socials. You can find us on Twitter at RBTE Podcast. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/Right Between the Eyes Podcast. We're on Instagram. You can email into the show, Right Between the Eyes Podcast. And of course, you're watching here on YouTube. So click the like button and subscribe to get all of our latest videos and sound clips as Nico's pointing those out down below. And if you listen on iTunes, Apple Podcast, run over there, leave a 5-star review of 432, since it's RBTE2, and we will read those on the show. Like I said, Nick, Nico, and Rob, we are here to do an unboxing. I'm doing air quotes here because this is going to be the intro to what you're going to see that Brant from In My Head podcast, he and I are doing the actual unboxing, because at the time of this recording, I'll let the Carusos explain, they do not have the box, but we're going to go through something else in lieu of that. So I just want to kick it over to you guys, kind of explain your thought process, what decisions you made on the box, and where you are, if it's in your future, not future. And I'm going to shut up right now.
You know, I haven't decided yet.
We're pending.
It's weird because I
Pontificating.
can't I don't see a scenario where I don't eventually get the box set. But initially, because Creatures was an era that I was not present for when it came out, and to be quite honest with you, I've only gone back to it because of this 40th anniversary set. So it's not something that was really endearing to me, even though I do love I actually do like about half the album. I think it's great. So for me, what caught my eye immediately was the triple blue vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a instantaneous buy. When I saw the price come down on Amazon, I was almost going to pull the trigger, and now I think it's gone back up. So
yeah,
I think we're going to wait a bit, right, son? Unless all of a sudden you decide maybe.
I mean,
you're gonna like.
no, for now, yeah, we're still gonna wait, I think.
Yeah.
And waiting is just the inevitable, maybe not. And that's because I think I'm a little bit, even more than my dad just said, I'm not as huge on the album as maybe some are. And after the Destroyer one, which had a lot of great stuff in it, but then it came out to that quality of the live show for us, I don't think I could justify, we can justify, you know, and not that it's wrong too, just our relationship with the album. This is also pretty much an era of the band I don't really go back to or not really familiar with. I too, in my learning of KISS and becoming a KISS fan, in my youth, this was a period I skipped and didn't get much into, kind of per my dad's model, because he'd followed that too. So I don't know. There's cool stuff in it. We'll see. The live show is cool.
The live stuff is actually, it sounds fantastic.
The live stuff is really
I know
cool.
we'll talk about that later. I'm really pleasantly surprised.
I think
material.
And I think it's going to be the thing that through this show, you guys are discovering things that you may have kind of missed on. So there's part of me that's going, reviewing this, like we're going to do it like we did. So the review for all this is going to come in the first of the year. So that way we got a chance to listen through it.
Yeah.
So that way we're not trying to blast through all this content. And, you know, we don't swear a lot, but in this case, give a half-assed review of going, oh
Yeah.
yeah, we listened to it. So we've got the first of the year to do that. But I'm kind of curious, spending 3 episodes with Creatures and eventually ending on reviewing Creatures, does the pendulum swing for you guys, or will you guys still land where you were? But for this
That's a
case,
good point.
That's
yeah,
a great point, but the thrill of it for me is, even though I do know many of the songs, but to really go through the demos and the live stuff, I'd be honest with you, I'm really looking forward to it. So
Yeah, so am I.
I think I'd come out the other end and might be a little bit closer to probably buying the box set.
And I'm someone too who, like, my goal is always, or not goal, your hope is always you're gonna really like something, whether it's an album, a movie, a TV show, a book,
Yeah.
anything. When you go to a sports game, you really hope the team wins, right? So I'm always hoping when I revisit something that I'm gonna look more fondly on it, or that I'm gonna enjoy it a lot more. So I wouldn't rule that out, especially a lot of times when you do the deep dives and the reviews, you find appreciation in places that weren't before. So yeah, it's definitely, like you said, Rob, it's definitely possible, and that pendulum might swing. Will it swing enough for me to personally be like, let's get the box set? I don't know. It might have to do a lot for me. He might sway me. I don't know. I might sway him. We'll have to find out.
I
Only
think,
time will tell.
yeah, and I think being in the comic book realm that the three of us are, I know we've gone to some of these superhero movies, or just movies in general, that you're like, I don't know much about it. You come
Yeah.
out of the theater and go, that's not what I was expecting at all. I had a great ride with it. And then sometimes the other thing happens where you're like, yep, it's pretty much exactly what I thought it was
Yeah,
going to
exactly
be.
what I thought.
And that's okay too.
Yeah.
So what I was saying at the top of the show, because of that, the Carusos had said, hey, if you're going to do an unboxing, go ahead and do it with their blessing. So I reached out to Brant, and what you're going to see in just a little bit is Brant and I break down and take out all the goodies and go through it, and we'll do it visually here. But since the three of us do have the vinyl, I did think it would be kind of cool for the three of us to at least unbox something. And this would be my first time getting to hear what the Carusos think of the vinyl, with the color of the vinyl. Is it the color that they said it was going to be?
Yeah, that's
What-
let's
that's
let's
what we
talk
can
about.
lead with.
I tell you what I really do like though, and again, this is I didn't get the we didn't get the vinyl for Dynasty. I'm sorry, for Destroyer.
Okay.
So I got to be honest, this is really a nice
Yeah, it's
package.
It's
This
really
is
Yeah.
beautiful. I guess you would almost call it like a triple gatefold,
Yeah.
but the cover, and now that we can let the cat out of the bag, that it glows in the dark.
The eyes glow in the dark.
It's
That is
really
so cool.
I'm loving it. I love it. I love the back.
Pretty cool.
Just kind of the lightning in the sky. It gives me a little bit of a Destroyer feel too, Rob.
Yeah, it does.
Am I right, Nick, or no? A little bit.
It does. It does.
And then Rob, I know you had opened it, but I mean,
Yeah. Go ahead.
these are some beautiful pictures of the gang here. Mr. Carr. Very nice, sir. Even Vinny.
And I believe these were the 3 photos. Maybe not. It's from the same session for the MTV unmasking. These were the photos that they showed, then the camera morphed into their unmasked face. But this is that same photo. And what I thought was really cool about this also is the pockets for album 1, and then album 2 is in the middle, and then 3. So it would be what the Creatures album should be the demos, and then the live is on the third side.
And then again, too, this is really nice too, because this is a Rob, is this in the well, we don't know yet in the box set. We're gonna let you do this.
Well, we'll find out, but he's
but
nodding.
This is really cool too, how Tom, I believe it's Tom German,
Yeah,
who does these things, and I got to be honest with you, he does a great job with this stuff. And
They had this in the Destroyer one.
They
too,
do,
right?
and so the authenticity of this thing being like a tape,
Yeah,
a reel, is just it's cool. I mean, it's just, what can I tell you? It's got a great look to it. You see side 1, you see side 2. There's handwriting on it, like the engineers or the guys themselves. And the booklet itself, listen, once again, it's terrific. They spare no expense.
No,
when it comes to these booklets, the interviews, the breakdown of the time. It's a fun read.
And I will say I mean, we haven't unboxed it yet, but since this was recorded after the unboxing, I can tell you that aside from all of the, you know, the tour pics and all the other stuff, the story of Creatures, if you're like, well, we didn't get the box, am I missing anything as far as a story? The complete story of Creatures is in this vinyl book. So it's just all of the other pictures and things, which is cool, but it's not like they took like, oh, we're going to leave out the middle half of the story. The creation of Creatures is all intact in this vinyl. So if that's all that you got, you at least get the
I mean, again, it's impressive. I especially love the back page with the dedication era car.
Yeah, a lot of nice car shots throughout the thing too.
And the Michael James Jackson, of course, someone who was really important to the band.
Yeah.
I mean, this was one of my favorite shots.
That's a really good one.
It's great. I mean, the live shots are really, really good. Once again, how they get these photos, they search far and wide for them. I don't believe they have all these in their catalog, how they reach out to it. But what's even cool about this too is the history of the tour.
Yeah,
of course, because we all know this was a crazy time with Ace. And Ace does a tour, Vinny comes on and stuff. So it was really, you know, for all practical purposes, we're going to get to all these albums unmasked and all that, but this really was a really unique era for this band.
I'll be honest, I do, whether it be Ace or Vinny, both of them included, I really did enjoy their aesthetic at this time. I liked the lightning bolt thing for Ace. Even Vinny, the Egyptian thing, whatever, it's kind of cool. Like it works, it's different. And I really dig the Fox look for Carr, and Carr has a lot of really nice shots in here, like I said.
Oh yeah.
So it's cool. It's also cool because you see the like that osmosis between the Ace stuff and the Vinny stuff. There's some Ace stuff, there's some Vinny stuff that makes it different too. And you kind of can even see in the visuals a story of a transition too, not just in the writing itself. And I do like that this was included in the vinyl, because like it's that piece of history that we like, and it's you're not missing out. Now it also makes me be like, hey, maybe we don't need a box set because we got the story in here. But
you are correct on that. I mean,
that's neither here nor there.
Right.
I want to go back to, and you can touch on the rest of it real quick too, Rob. But I do want to touch on the coloring of the vinyl, because
I agree.
I will say, because I'm just gonna get it out of the way.
Well, here,
it's not.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Rob got the vinyl first, and when he texted to me, and again, I'm not going to complain. This is a beautiful.
No, it's not bad.
And so,
but
not to be a nitpicker, if you will.
Let me be a Nick picker.
This is
I'm going to be the Nick picker.
But Rob, I'm really happy with this color.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, it was not the color that was advertised.
Right.
And it was made, and again, Mr. German addresses this, that it was an error at the plant. There's something about that lighter blue cover, lighter blue color, that fits a little bit more with, I think, the lettering and the album cover itself.
The blue in their faces, I think it would have really been complimentary to the look of it.
Now, having said that, as Nick tries to find it,
I
love the fact
I'll put it up on the screen here in just a little bit.
Yeah.
Sure. I love the fact that the album, the sleeve is the lyrics. This is beautiful.
Yeah, that is cool.
Once again, spectacular. Spare no expenses. What I really love now, and Nick's still looking for that, is the second LP of the demos. Once again, has these tape reel pictures that are just, it's just so cool. It feels like you're there in the recording studio with them. Wouldn't you agree, Rob?
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's like they took that one step notch from Destroyer, which I do have the Destroyer here while you're holding the Creatures. You know, here's the inner jacket for the vinyl, which is very much like what we see. Cool. So keeping the aesthetic.
Now I'm thinking I'd like to get that Destroyer one. I don't know if that's even still around or not, but
I think this is mine's just a standard black. So the jacket for Destroyer, since it was only one album, well, two, but they didn't include as much material as in Creatures. So I feel like what they did here, they ramped it up for Creatures.
Yeah, and I like
It's just that light blue looks
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest with you. It's when I see that light blue color, it does disappoint me. I would have really liked to seen that translate into the physical product.
Oh, same here. As much as I like the color of this, when I saw the color on KOL, I was like, oh man, that is beautiful. We haven't received anything like that. But to Tom German's, information, through all of the things that we just talked about on our last episode of the color of vinyls, like, it's not really the color red it was supposed to be. Oh, it's not really the color of green. It just sounds like, oh, you wanted it green. Well, this is the green that we have in the vat, and that's the color that it is. So
yeah, I think you're right. And I going back to the sleeve too on the demos again. I like the back part here with the pictures.
That's cool.
And of course, this is probably my favorite, but the live LP.
Yeah, that is beautiful.
That's
wonderful
really
live
cool.
shots. I love that it's Rockford, Sioux City, and Houston,
Illinois. Shout out
Rockford, Illinois. About an hour.
I was going to ask.
Right.
Yeah, it's about 90 minutes.
And there's some really cool live shots of the band with Vinny and Paul and Gene and Eric, and there's a nice.
I love Paul's guitar
shot here. Yeah, the guitar.
I love that.
I
love the guitar.
His
Vinny's got like the flying V.
Exactly.
As does Paul in this shot.
So, once they've done a great job with these. Outside of the color being a little bit off, they've done a really good job, by and large, with these anniversary editions with the vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
I still wish, for the price they're charging, that they would throw the vinyl in with the box set.
Yeah, I mean,
they haven't done the same size. This vinyl sits perfectly right inside of it. Why?
And I mean, it would, and again, I know that people have gotten the set for much less, but it certainly would have made me probably spend an extra $150.
Yeah, probably,
to get the box set if this was in there. But it is what it is. But I cannot complain about the package. The sound of it that I've listened to is excellent.
Yeah,
I think it's got a nice sound. Now I don't have the remastered one or the ones from the 80s, Rob. You're the audiophile on here. How is it to you? To me, on my system, we have a decent system. It sounds good, but I'm not going to lie to you. I don't have other versions of this LP to compare it to.
Of course, I can't find it. This is probably Rob's going to edit, but I do have you would think I would have it set. There we go. So here's the original 1982 Creatures of the Night. So there's the label on it, and the lyric sheet is very much like you just showed. Again, edit, but mine's really beat up. Just the paper. So this does sound comparable to what this was. Again, with the technology and the way they're doing it. The best version right now, at least I think, somebody's probably going to argue with me, is the other version that came out, is the Half-Speed Master of the 40th anniversary, because it's cut a lot slower at half the speed that it takes to cut the album, so the needle has a chance to cut into the vinyl and you get a much deeper, richer sound.
Did they not release another version in the late 80s that a lot of people love the sound on that too? Or?
Yes. So when Bruce Kulick joined the band, like, Creatures was just shy of getting gold in like 82. So in 85, in between Animalize and Asylum, they were like, you know what? We got a new member in the band. Let's re-put out Creatures of the Night. They remixed the album, put Bruce Kulick on the front cover, and then the album eventually went gold. And that's one that a lot of people kind of go back to and say that the mixing on that was done very well, and it has a nice rich sound to it. So either way, like, I don't have the world's greatest system, but I do really like the new 40th anniversary. The triple vinyl sounds really good. And on the right set of headphones, I might lead to the Half-Speed Master sounding better, but I think we're splitting hairs with it.
Well, I be honest with you, I'm really looking forward to when we break this entire
Yeah,
thing
so am
down.
I.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, speaking of breaking into, let's just break into our video right here. And I'm going to go hop in the car and head to Brant's house. And Brant's going to head over to my house. It's going to be crazy how this is all going to work. But you can watch both of our channels review the same thing. And the beginning and end will be the same. But how Brant and I edit these two videos will be different. So it'll be a variant into unboxing the creature. So let's head over to In My Head, and you're watching Right Between the Eyes as we unbox the creature. 3, 2, 1, creature. It is unboxing the creature. It is our unboxing of the Creatures of the Night 40th anniversary deluxe box set, vinyl LP, whatever we could get from KOL. Now, at the time that this is being done, Nick and Nico did not purchase the big box set. They've got the 3 LP vinyl. And I started to think I would like to kind of review and look through this, but they were like, hey, if you want to do something on your own, and I got an idea. Brant from In My Head podcast is going to be joining me right here to unbox the creature. So this is something cool that he and I have put together. We're both recording our own individual intros and outros, but in the middle we have this creative space that he may decide to show you a bowl of fruit on his channel. Probably not a bowl of fruit, but you'll have to go check his channel. This is like variants. We're all about variants in the Kiss collecting, like, oh, this is a interesting pressing from Australia, or this is an interesting pressing from Czechoslovakia. So this is like you've got to collect them all to see what's all going on. So it's going to be cool to see what Brant does with what we record, and then you're getting to see what I'm recording here. So let's just not waste any more time. Let's get Brant over here, and I'm going to go over to his channel, and we're going to unbox 40th anniversary edition of Creatures of the Night. I can't wait. We've been waiting to do this, and I think KOL has some speedy things to do. Now, it was released on Thursday, the 18th. I actually got mine Sunday, the 20th, the box. So I've had it a little bit longer than Brant has. And then I got my 3 LP edition on the 23rd, the day before Thanksgiving. So I've had mine, and Brant just got his yesterday at the time we're recording this. He got his on the 28th. So I'm not going to make him wait any longer. Let's unlock the cage and let's unbox the creature. Hey, well, it's good to have you, Brant, here on Right Between the Eyes. Welcome to the channel, sir.
It's good to have you on In My Head channel, Rob. Welcome to my channel as well.
Now, this is going to be fun. Now, I know you've been waiting a while. I mean, it's been a little bit, and I've already opened my box and kind of got the stuff out, and you can kind of tell here's the shirt. So here's one thing that have kind of pulled out. And since you haven't unboxed yours yet, why don't we just kind of follow like what's in your box, and that maybe that'll dictate what we do here on my channel.
So that sounds good. My channel, your channel, it's our channels today. So so yeah, let me tell you, it was so frustrating watching this thing sit in Pennsylvania over the entire Thanksgiving holiday. It quit moving on Wednesday and did not move again until Monday. And
That's
then it got from
crazy.
Pennsylvania to Ohio. It got from Pennsylvania to West Virginia, by God, West Virginia, to North Carolina, and they had actually initially had pushed it all the way back to the 2nd, and then they readjusted it to the 30th, and I got it on the 29th. So, but here we are. It's in my box. I'm opening it from the bottom because no, you can't see. I'm going to open it from the top because you can't see my label. I don't want anybody doxing me and trying to come to my house.
While you're cutting that, I'll give a little context to mine. I mean, I live in Ohio, and the fulfillment center's in Michigan. So
Mhm.
mine only paused for like a day on the 19th and then started to move. So I had mine by that Sunday the 20th, like I said, in my opening. So
Right.
that was crazy for this. Hey, I got Creatures, and you were telling me, dude, it's gonna be like December 2nd. I went, are you serious?
Yeah, I was so pissed at that point, to put it lightly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you showed your creatures back there in the back. I wanted to show before we open the box the only creatures that I have. I have this creatures here. This is the 2014 re-release. This is the only version I have. My original version of creatures is long since gone, but this is my original. This is not my original, but this is the 180 gram 2014, still sealed. I've not opened it yet. I haven't opened any of my 2014s. I've been collecting them up.
Mhm.
And but yeah, that's the only version I have. So that's off to the side.
And mine's the 82 original release, and I have the 2014 release as well. So this is going to add to the creature. All right. So since all mine's out of the box, we're going to let Brant dictate what comes out of his, and that's what we'll talk about next.
So next out of the box for me is the Half-Speed Master.
Half-Speed Master.
So Creatures of the Night, first ever Half-Speed remaster on 180 gram audiophile vinyl, tip-on premium jacket.
Yeah, and the jacket, I mean, I love the jacket on the blue vinyl, but the jacket on this thing is slick. It's sharp. I mean, it's got a glossy sheen, as glossy as it looks in his cellophane right there. It's just as glossy here. So tip on, if you don't know, it's basically the old vinyls, and the one that's sitting back here, or the one we just showed, is printed on the cardboard. It's a blank cardboard, and it's basically one giant, the layman's term is one giant sticker that's wrapped all the way around and put on. So you can see, you probably won't be able to tell here, but there's a little bit of separation that runs through the bottom here of where. So this is one like big sticker that they put on. So that's the tip on cover. So that way they can get a nice high res photo.
You can see I've got it pulled, and you can see how shiny. I've got my cover pulled back a little bit, and you can see how shiny that is right there on Paul's face.
And you can see I use the sleeves from mine, so I always pull off my hype sticker and I attach it to my final sleeve so I can pull that in and out. So
right. Did Gene put $100 in here for me? Nope. Dang it, Gene.
If you pull it out, Gene's going to charge you another $100. Brant, you opened that. That's $100, please.
Yeah.
So very much the same insert.
Mm-hmm.
And then the classic 82 logo or label.
Wow, this feels so thick. And it's you can tell that it's mastered and differently, because the grooves have like a rainbow effect to them. You really can't see it, but they have like in person, they almost have like a spectrum look to them. I cannot wait to listen to this. I've heard some people talking about, I think it was Jason Herndon was like, holy lower end Batman.
Yeah, this has some sick low end to it. You get a nice, even simple Apple earbuds sound amazing. I'm playing it through the home stereo system. The wife was like, can you not knock the nails out of the house?
Yeah, I will be. This is one there's no book. It's really, this one's not really, other than the cover being very slick. This is more for the sound. This is
yes.
Yeah, this is the candy cane on this one is the sound. And I have a Bluetooth record player that I usually Bluetooth to my Bose subwoofer and my little speakers.
Amazing.
So I'll be spinning this tomorrow for sure. All right, so
What's next in the box now?
It's the last
you-
thing. I didn't get the bundle.
You didn't get the bundle.
Mm-mm,
So
no.
I'll show the shirt here really quick if I
No.
can stand up. So if somebody says, wow, that looks really kind of chintzy, they reproduced the bootleg t-shirt that was being sold outside of the venue. So if you went in the venue, you got the nice shirt with Vinnie Vincent on it or the album cover. And then the bootleggers back in 82 were making their own shirt. So Universal and Kiss said, okay, fine. We will just reproduce the bootleg shirt and give it to you officially. So that's why it has the weird coloring on the letter and the Creatures of the Night font isn't right. And why Paul's eye looks a little weird in his face. So yeah, this is the bootleg shirt that was sold out at the venue. So
that's cool that they did that.
Yeah.
So Creatures of the Night 40th anniversary limited edition Super Deluxe Box Set, 5 CDs and Blu-ray audio, 108 total tracks, 75 unreleased, original 1982 album newly remastered, 34 demos, rarities, outtakes, 24 unreleased, 26 unreleased Creatures of the Night tour performance, 7 sound effects, including the tank, Blu-ray audio, brand new album, Dolby Atmos and 5.1 surround mixes, 80-page hardbook coloring, or 80-page hardbook cover book, featuring new interviews with Gene and Paul Stanley, linear notes from Ken Sharp, unreleased photos, handwritten lyrics and rare collectibles, and exclusive collectible bonus items. And we'll look at those as we get into it. But he's been showing you the stuff there, and
so as you can see, mine
God,
is
this is heavy. I think this is heavier than the Destroyer box.
yes, it is by almost 2 pounds heavier. If you can believe
this
that.
is heavy. Gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, what were you saying?
So you can see the lid's off mine. So yes,
Right.
I did have this since the 20th. So I did tell Brant, I'm not going to look inside, but I finagled the CDs out so I could burn them and put them so I could put them on a thumb drive to put them in my car so I could start listening to it. So I was very careful to close my eyes, didn't look at any of the folders, no nothing. So I saw what the top of the box is, and I was quickly like, oh, I don't want to look at it. But yeah, I have not seen anything inside other than the actual CDs when Brant gets to them. Like I do have the stack.
I love this purple foil. It kind of reminds me of the Killers re-release that they did a couple of years ago with that purple foil in it. It's hard, man. That foil, it just really shines in the light.
Yeah,
man, it's so awesome. Okay, so here we go, pulling mine off.
Real quick, while he's doing that, here they are both side by side. All right, let's get this top off. So I've heard some people review it, and however they put them in here could be different from box to box. I heard somebody had the book, the hardcover book on top. Some people have had the folder on top. Some people have had the tour book on top. So it'll be interesting to see how ours goes.
And see if we got one of the folded variants.
Yeah.
Again?
Actually, I think the variant this time is if it's folded correctly. I've heard more people have it folded incorrectly, which if you went back to our show, if you're watching here on ours, Nico about lost his mind trying to figure out why is mine backwards.
I have, first off for me is the hardcover book.
Hardcover book, which I think that's most people have had that.
Yeah, so
Which,
I've got the hardcover book first.
And this should look familiar. It's just like the front and back of the sleeve or the little booklet that was in the.
It smells excellent.
I was going to ask. That was something we did in the 90s. I bought CDs and I smelled the
CDs in the 90s smelled, or cassettes in the 90s smelled amazing.
They did.
I remember opening it because I'd go down to the mall and go to East Ridge Mall and go to the record bar, and I'd get my CD, my cassette, and I'd open it up. And the first thing I would do, serious hand to God, I'd open it up and I'd stick my nose in that fold and I just smell it. And God,
I'm
it
glad I'm
smells
not
so
the
good.
only one.
And it lost that smell. That smell did not stay there. It lost it.
No.
So, and I don't know if
There was new car smell and there was tape and CD smell.
oh yeah, it's so good. You remember when CDs came in the long boxes? Those were so
Yes.
awesome. I love
Yeah.
those. Okay, so opening it up, we open up to a black page.
Yep.
American Supergroup lead guitarist. Oh, they start with the ad. Isn't that funny that they start
Yeah.
with the ad? So it's almost like they're starting with Vinny.
Yeah.
Man, could you imagine if you'd have answered that ad? American Supergroup needs lead guitarist.
If only I played guitar.
Yeah, and so now they've got the Monster Unleashed. I know. I remember being a kid. I was like 13 or 14 years old. Whenever I was like 12 or 13, whenever Eric replaced Peter, and I just remember thinking, man, if I just been a little bit older, I could have been the drummer for Kiss. So I'm just going to hold it up whenever it comes to something really interesting. This isn't meant to be. I might go through later on and do one of those that I did, like with Destroyer, where I've got the camera down and I flip through it. But this is just to be about mine and yours reactions and showing each other what we think is really cool. So they talk about killers, and so they're going straight into the elder / killers era photo and everything.
You know,
short hair Ace and short hair Paul.
I like that they're starting with coming out of the elder into killers and figuring out what they're going to do, because that's where Michael James Jackson really comes into the fold and starts molding what would become Creatures of the Night.
Yep.
Oh, I love this picture of Eric.
It's a good shot.
That's a good
of
picture
Ace.
of Ace. This
oh
photo,
yeah. Oh
beautiful
yeah.
photo.
Yep. Here comes the Wizard. They got some good photos of Vinny.
That's a beautiful shot right there.
Gene palling around with Vinny, and yeah, that's a good shot. It's cool.
Oh.
We've seen this Vinny photo before, but it's still a good one.
Yeah. Starting to get into the record labels from around the world of what the vinyl labels look like.
Oh, that's a good action shot. You're a little ahead of me, but that's a good action shot of Eric. Man, I see a lot of Michael James Jackson, Robin Ford, Adam Mitchell. Man, it's gonna be such a good
Adam
read.
Twice at the Indiana Kiss Expo. Man, the expos need to come back.
Yeah, another one of those outtake shots. Album design, Dennis Walsh. He helped design Dynasty, didn't he? Because he's in some of the shots of the Dynasty poster where they had the straitjackets on before they blacked them out. It's the same guy.
I want to say yes.
I'm sure we'll get correct. I'm sure we'll get corrected by the Kiss Army.
The Kiss Army will know, actually.
Yeah, they will know. Be like, God, you guys.
Right now, 1989 Rob would have killed to have this content of Creatures, because when I first got Creatures,
all those album cover, all the the labels.
Yeah, my first Creatures of the Night was a non-makeup cover with Bruce Kulick on it.
Oh yeah, no, and I hate that they did that. I never understood that. I never understood why they did all those cassette tape covers, and I never understood why they did what they did with that.
I think that was probably because Bruce was in the band and they were touring around. It was before Animalized, and they decided, you know what? We don't have anything official to show you with Bruce. I just would have reshot the Animal. Yes. I was waiting for you to get to that page. That's cool. Awesome.
People are like, were those mannequins? It's like, no, that was them. They just had like stickers over their eyes, but it was them because they were walking.
Yep, the Creatures of the Night video.
Yep. So a picture of a cool little candid shot.
Yep.
There.
And
I
this
like
is a
I like that the hardcover book is thicker than the regular book. It's like,
yeah.
some people might be like, oh, well, now we got them both, buy them both, but they couldn't make, even if they didn't make this hardcover, it would still be too thick to be in a regular album.
And there's more pages in the hardcover book. I think it's like 78 pages, and the LP might be 16, 17 pages,
Yeah, got
20
some
if you're lucky.
cool live shots there.
Oh, I like this shot of Vinny kissing the guitar.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. See, I saw this tour, but what's so funny is I don't really remember a lot of it. But I just remember that we were expecting Ace to be there, and then there was Vinny there, and I remember the tank, and I remember more about like things around the show than the show. Like, there was in the Charlotte Coliseum, the old Coliseum, that's the Bojangles Arena now, and they had a big black curtain down half of down half of the auditorium.
To hide the empty seats.
And they were, and even then, yeah, to hide the seats that they didn't sell, and even then, they didn't even sell out
Ooh.
all of that. It's like the floor was full because it was general admission. The floor was full, and there was a little bit of people on the lower level, but nobody on the upper level really. I like all these
Gotcha.
little cool, look like fan shots, fan photos. Those are pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, this is going to be something to go through
Oh yeah,
and read this.
yeah.
And it's kind of cool in other countries. I don't know exactly where this ad is from, but it is the Destroyer album, but it's spliced with Vinny's face and Eric Carr's over Peter and Ace's. And this is, I mean, this would have been something if Kiss just would have released this as a book. You could have gone to your Books a Million or Barnes and Noble or whatever and
Oh
just
yeah,
bought.
yeah. That's the thing,
Yeah.
is they could sell these books. They could sell these books. There you go, Gene. There's you an idea. Sell the books. Tickets. Oh man, I miss old concert tickets. Just having
Same
a
here.
having a ticket in your hand that's like a legit ticket, not a printed out piece of paper. And
It's got the web address and everything on it.
yeah,
This is a great shot. This is a band. I don't know if it's before Disaster Strikes.
right.
I've always liked Vinny's makeup. I just thought that was cool. Again, the time I came into a Kiss fan, he was this mythical being,
Mm-hmm.
like almost Voldemort, the name we shall not mention.
Right. I think that
So cool.
I think that the fans really, they accepted Eric, and they accepted Vinny because simply they were brought into the band when Kiss still had makeup on, and they were given their own makeup. They weren't given, if they would have tried to pull that crap that they pulled today, if they would have brought Eric in and put Peter's makeup on, it would have been mutiny. I mean, Kiss fans would have been turning their Army cards in left and right if they would have done something like that. But the fact that that I think that I received Eric as a Kiss fan, and I received Vinny as a Kiss fan. Okay, so next for me is the blue book.
The blue book.
folder.
All right.
The blue
Same
folder
here for me. Now
And-
the question is yours backwards or forwards?
Mine is correct.
Ooh, is it? Mine is incorrect.
All right, so you got the variant. Or maybe I've got the variant.
Maybe
like
you got the
said.
variant, yeah.
How do we fold this? Oh, I don't know. Let's just fold it.
Doo-doo-doo.
Here's the thing: a machine folded it. Somebody put them in the machine wrong. It's probably
Right.
what happened. Machine folded it. All right, so I'm gonna open it up and be curious to see how yours is stocked and how mine's is stocked. So
Yeah.
So
Ooh, up first, who do you have?
Up first, I have Vinny.
Vinny. Yes.
So I have
Rob,
Vinny up
Rob
front.
says he does, but he can't grab it. Vinny.
So I have Vinny first. And then who do you have next?
The Fox.
Same. Man,
Derek
these are
Carr.
on some thick stock. These are frame worthy.
Yeah,
Those
definitely.
are beautiful. And then
Man,
next,
I love that.
yeah, the detail, man. That's
Now,
some like solo album detail.
There's an artist, and you have to forgive me, I can't remember who did these. It probably says on the book. But this artist draws a bunch.
Yeah.
Of
Kiss.
And
I
then
mean,
other artists.
these are things where you can tell that they're drawings, but they look photorealistic.
Yeah.
You could take a picture of this and put a certain filter on it, and it would look like a real picture. All right. So next for you I have the newspaper.
The newspaper, Gotham Rock
Right.
City News. I can't wait to read this one.
Kiss is loud and proud. I love that they put newspapers in here. I mean, that's so boomer.
Oh. Yes. That is so cool. And it goes through the album tracks.
Yeah.
The demos, talks about.
Yep. Talks about Danger. Talks about Killer.
Adam Mitchell.
I love song stories.
Same here.
I love song stories. I love hearing how a song, how it was thought up, how it was created, how it was developed. Here, I'm just showing some of mine, but yeah, gosh, it goes through. Last page is Betrayed. It's got Betrayed on it. Creatures of the Night, the 1985 remix.
Yep.
That's really cool. Yeah, definitely. I'll get my crafting mirror out that has the magnifier and has the light on it too.
A little out of focus for me trying to get my camera to refocus back into good old Rob, but this is cool. So early on in 81, when they were writing this, actually part in 82, one of the Power Station masters that they sent in was Creatures of the Night, Partners in Crime, I Love It Loud, and Rock and Roll Hell. So Partners in Crime was kind of considered early on, it sounds like. So that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Next in mine is the Kiss Army folder.
Okay.
Kiss Army,
mine
the anniversary tour book.
The tour book. So yours was back.
Yeah, mine was in like this.
Yep, mine was in too. Yep.
Yeah, so the Kiss Army, the tour book, and I think it's really cool that they're miniaturizing the tour books, and putting those in there. That's cool. That's a cool shot.
And this, I've got this picture as a 8x10 or 8.5 by 11 somewhere. I bought it at an expo. It's probably behind me somewhere.
That's really cool that they went back to early photos, worked their way up through.
And this would have been the tour book that you would have bought in 82, 83, which the first shows didn't have it, but they quickly got it back out. So for me right now, this is the price of admission for this box set, is getting this tour book.
Yes. Cool. A lot of really cool shots.
Very cool.
Yeah, jeans.
Oh, Eric's is cool.
Yep.
He's in his unmasked costume, so which I've kind of seen scans of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's interesting to see. I didn't realize it as a Kiss fan being younger, because pictures wasn't really around as much as they are now. That's what a lot of people don't realize is even at this point in time, there was no internet. Then there wasn't just hundreds of stuff just floating around, And I didn't realize that Eric's makeup went through so many changes until
Yeah.
got later on, and you see a picture of him and you're like, wait. And it's stuff that I didn't notice, like the People magazine, the first one that Eric's on. I had that when it came out. My grandma bought it for me. And you look at Eric's makeup on that, and it's not the way it ended up. It's an early version.
No.
So, and I didn't even notice it until the other day. I saw somebody was talking about it, and I went and looked it up on eBay because I was going to buy it, and I was zooming in on it really good, and I was like, wait a minute, that's the old makeup. That's the early makeup. Oh, that's cool that they've got Peter Criss in here.
Yeah. I mean, again, this was their 10th anniversary, so having the whole band in here
Right.
was really cool. But this was a tour book.
Peter Criss, Ace Frehley.
Yep.
I mean, it's funny that when I saw Ace, it didn't shock me because Ace was still kind of, even though he didn't play a note on the album, he was to us, he was still in the band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine going to the show. It's not like on the internet somebody would have said, hey, this guy named Vinnie Vincent, it's got a cross on his forehead.
Yeah,
is running
no
around.
clue. No clue.
I always thought this guitar was so weird for Ace.
Yeah, no, it just doesn't look right on him. And that's a weird one.
Yeah, I was so excited that the Destroyer box set had the Destroyer tour program in it.
Yeah.
And I quickly thought, man, I want Creatures and I want Revenge because I want those two tour books.
And I love how they always put buy the whole catalog.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Isn't that crazy that in 82 the discography ends with The Elder? Like what world do you live in where the latest album at the time would have been, well, obviously Creatures, but the previous one would have been The Elder.
Right. All right. So what's next for you?
So it looks like it's another folder. It looks like it's trying to put stuff in the box there. So it says Creatures of the Night. I believe this is the press kit.
Yep.
I'm air quoting press kit, like different versions of the press kit that would have been around in 82.
This is what got my jollies, man, in the Destroyer box set, and I was looking forward to this and this.
Same
this
here.
Is where a lot of the little cool stuff comes in. Hey, I want to see if it's just you or if it's just me, but is your sheet of the drawing of the stage got like a real bad wrinkle in the left corner?
No, I've got
this one here.
Yeah, no, I've got a rolled edge on the right side. You probably won't be able to see it. Right here, it looks like it's kind of folded. I think from where it got folded in half, the folder it kind of got caught.
You see that on mine? You see that real bad wrinkle?
Yeah. It's like your sister came in and sat on your bed and you're like, no, my Kiss stuff.
Right. Get off my albums, Marsha. Yes. That's cool. That is the Lighting Truss idea, is what that is, what we're flashing up here.
And I believe that's Gene's handwriting.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the left side first, just in case.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Left side here as well.
And then behind it, I have this.
Oh, could you imagine this stage? Designed by Mark Rantis?
Ravitz? Oh my gosh, yeah, that would be insane. That would have been insane. What is that, a jet?
Yeah,
I mean, jet engine?
So that explains the turbine sounds.
Exactly, the turbines and then the crane.
Like there's a runway missile with Paul standing on it. What in the world?
That's crazy. And I like how the Kiss logo is like right down on the stage.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right. Looks like we got a poster. Oh, wow.
See, I have this somewhere that I had on my wall as a kid. And I think it was in my Hot in the Shade magazine. I had this on my wall forever. Love.
Nice. Oh, what is this? It's stapled together. I love this. This looks like somebody just printed it out on their printer and then stapled it.
So I believe this is the, yes, yep. So this is probably the actual press part of the kit.
Okay.
10 years and 5 million albums after they first shocked and conquered the rock world, Kiss is still the center of controversy. Parents burn Kiss albums while their children dress from head to toe, imitating their favorite group member.
Here we go. We take rock and roll to its extremes, claims bassist Gene Simmons. Throughout our career, we've tried to do anything that was possible. We could visually be as musically kick-ass as we can be. Simmons asserts, we've always been the loudest rock and roll band. Yeah, this is cool. It looks like it was typed on a typewriter.
Yeah. And this is something they probably would have sent out to radio stations or tour
See that
promoters.
there?
Yep.
Yeah, so let's see what we're looking at. It's just 3, 4 pages. Well, it's even more, but it's just how many pages is this?
6, if I can count. No, it's more than 6.
Yeah, and it's 7. Yeah, 7 pages.
7. Yep.
Thick, not flimsy paper. That's like, it's not cardstock, but it's not just regular. But that's 7
While
pages.
Brant and Rob are saying, I wonder what page this is. In the top right, it says page
Kiss
7.
dot 7.
7.
Well, you know,
Yeah,
you can't be smart and beautiful.
that's right.
All right, so to the right side for you.
To the right side, I'm going to slip us back in really quick.
Yeah, me too.
All right, we're on
I'm
the
kind
right
of-
side.
I'm taking things out.
Poster.
Yeah, it looks like a
Oh.
poster.
This is the poster I've always wanted. It is astronomically high. It's not the full length version.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, this is getting
Oh my gosh. Yes.
framed. This is
That-
amazing.
Yes. I'm
The
glad they
loudest
included that.
band in the world.
Yeah,
If I could
this real version of this is insane price.
Yes. Like new car insane almost.
The loudest band. Yep, that's getting.
That's getting framed.
Yep. All right. Then it looks like another poster.
Another poster.
Man.
Ooh.
Man, they're postering it up. What is
Oh,
this?
looks like the Japanese kind of ish. Oh, it's like a Killers-esque poster.
Yeah,
That's
it's like
cool.
yeah, but it's got Creatures of the Night on the right, but they used a Killers era photo. That's cool.
Yeah.
Japanese. That's awesome. Wow.
Which
that's really cool.
sweet.
And then next, I've got some cards.
This is
Some-
probably the backstage pass, I would imagine, VIP. If you've got that.
Yeah, mine's right there.
Okay. Oh, I see the cards. There you are.
Yep, they're right there with it. And let's see. I'm just curious to see if they're even put in the same order because they're really close. So your first card is
Ace.
Ace.
Nice.
That's pretty cool that they're put together. That these are like Killers-esque photos, like the Killers photo shoot.
Yeah.
And then Eric,
Yep.
and then Mr. Horrible Haircut, number 1,
I want my hair to look like a bowl.
and Mr. Horrible Haircut, number 2.
2.
And that bandana. Yeah, so then I've got the 10th anniversary tour, Detroit 223 VIP, that sticker or that press that you were showed earlier.
Yep. I think mine was just a little bit ahead of.
Yep. And then for me, it is,
I have a sticker.
yep, same.
Okay.
And this one was hiding down under the flap. Right behind that one is this.
Oh, yeah. Yep. There's mine.
Hiding under the flap. Marcina Pista, and I'm ruining Spanish. And
Yeah,
then
so
we
this
have
is their
another
ticket
stick.
stub.
And we have another
I love it. Loud. Right between the eyes.
right between the eyes.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I like
you
that.
You get a scan of that. Ooh, what is this? Is this an iron-on transfer?
Yes.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh! It's an iron-on transfer.
It's Christmas, folks.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Oh,
Gosh,
that
that's
is
so
awesome.
40th
There was a kid in high
anniversary.
school that had this shirt, and I so bad wanted this shirt. Now I can make my own.
Oh, that's awesome. God, that's so cool. All right, so then we have pictures, 8x10s
Yep.
looks like, and I've got first. I've got
What's yours first,
mine is first is Mr. Vincent.
Mr. Vincent? The Ankh Wizard.
All
right.
I've noticed they're putting them in a particular order. Have you noticed yet?
Yes.
Oh, nope. They broke it with this one, but it seems like the order has been Vinny, Eric, Gene, Paul.
Well, yep.
That's what I've been noticing. It. So Eric for me.
Yep.
And then instead of Gene this time, they have for mine it's Paul.
Paul, same. Yep.
And then Gene. I like the finish on those. And
So do I.
Gene.
A lot of frameable stuff in this one.
Yes. And then there's a black and white, like a press photo. That is very cool. Very cool. No, just looking down into that flap to see if Gene included my $100. He didn't. I always look in a Kiss album. That was my. You know where that joke came from? Let me tell you where that joke came from. You know how their Kiss has a rumor mill, right? And you know how whenever it was when you were little, it's like, oh, Gene's tongue's a cow's tongue, or they made a deal with the devil and they woke up with their makeup, their faces like that. And they can't take their makeup off; it stays on all the time. That's why you never see them without it and stuff like that. Well, there was a rumor at one point in time. It was around this time. It was when Kiss was at their least popular. There was a rumor going around that Kiss was going to put out a final album. And inside the final album, to thank the fans, they were going to put a $100 bill in every single album to pay the fans back. That was, I'm pretty sure, rumor. Gene wasn't going to part with money like that, but that was a legit. Where I remember that it wasn't. I didn't make it up. That was a legit rumor. So for the longest time, every time I get a new album, I'll be like, "Is my $100 in here?" Nope. It's like when Ralphie goes and opens the mailbox looking for his little orphan Annie Dakota pin.
Yep.
Not again. Not today. All right. So, I've got some random stuff here.
Okay.
So, this is the first random thing. It's some little pins.
Pins. Yep.
Little pins.
Each one of the band members, and it's just a smaller version of the photos we just showed.
Right. And let's see.
I've got the guitar picks, and yes, they are glow in the dark. And
I was going to say, do these glow in the dark? They do.
And there should be 5. One for Eric, Vinny, Gene, Paul, and Ace.
Okay, let's see. So I've got Eric is 1. That's Eric's.
Rob can't get his bag open.
Ace. There's 1 for Ace.
Eric.
Yep. Paul.
Ace.
If you pull Paul.
I had Gene.
Oh, okay. I was going to say Gene.
That's my next one.
And Vinny. That's cool. Guitar picks are cool.
Oh, wait a minute. Do I have 2 Pauls? Oh, the one I said was Paul was Ace. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know. Yes. So I got all 5.
I was going to say, did you get a variant?
Like some people that bought the Funko Pops and they've got 2 Genes or 2 Aces.
2 Pauls. I saw somebody that had 2 Pauls.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool that the eyes and now the guitar picks, we have 2 glow in the dark features.
And the Iron On patch.
Those are so cool. I got to bust up my jean jacket.
That's cool. And then the CDs, which you took out.
Yep. I've got mine out.
But my 2 top CDs is the one on the top. The top that's on the top is the Creatures Tour Live.
Oh, mine, I put them in the order. My top was the Creatures album.
Yeah, so mine looks like this.
Oh, you know what? You're right. You were right. That's how it was. Yep.
Mine looks like that.
I stacked mine. Yep. So yeah, the top was the live.
And it just opens up like that. Yep. And I tell you what, like I said, I really don't want to say too much about it, but I've got some really interesting comments on some of these live tracks,
Yeah.
and I'm looking forward to being able to discuss it with somebody soon.
Ditto.
And then let's go on down to
Down would be the Creatures album.
the Creatures album, and it's basically a miniature of the album. It's got that on the front and that on the back. And you
On the
open it up,
inside.
and it's the lyrics, which is cool.
Yep.
Let's go in the dark on that. Do they go in the dark? Nope. That looks like they don't go in the dark on the CD.
I didn't think they did.
And then it's just that they really used that pink kind of purplish color a lot during this era. And then back to the top, they've got the this is the Blu-ray, and that looks like not quite a 3D. That's an interesting thing. We didn't get to talk about it because I didn't open the Destroyer box set with you, but you guys did, and you guys actually used your glasses to look at it. I
Yeah.
think it's really interesting that they
I
on
wonder.
the Blu-ray that they did 3D with it, but they didn't include 3D glasses. That's a
Yeah.
miss. That's a miss there for me. They should have had some Kiss branded 3D glasses.
It's kind of 3D. The
This
color scheme.
this
Yeah.
is this kind of because you see those blues and reds, so it's like it's got
I
to have
think-
some effect.
Yeah, there is some depth to it. So if you do have the Psycho Circus 3D glasses, which I have,
Yeah,
it does work in 3D. The cover, not so much.
yeah, the
but
color. Yeah,
I think just because it's so dark, the greens aren't getting a chance to come up. But yeah, there's
what about the back? Is the back the same as the front?
the back. A little bit, not
little
too
bit.
much.
You
The-
can
the
definitely
creatures-
tell. You can definitely tell the center. The center does. You could.
Yeah,
I can look and see the separation of the red and the blue. And I tell you what, I really like that CD.
the CD does actually have more of a 3D effect than the actual cover does.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
That's
Looking
cool.
at Gene's Widow's Peak, you can see how it. But I like that CD. That's sharp, or that DVD, that Blu-ray cover of it.
So
All right.
if you play this, I did listen to this a little bit.
Uh-huh.
The video for I Love It Loud is on here.
Okay.
So, and that's not listed, but when you
On-
put it on,
on the Blu-ray.
yeah.
Okay.
And I won't spoil it, but something else happens when you watch this.
Okay.
So at least put it on once to say that you watched it, and I'll be interesting to hear what you say.
Yeah.
When I put it in, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool.
I definitely plan on listening. I usually reserve that to listen when I'm in the house by myself. It's not very often, but it does happen. And these are the demos.
Yes.
Let's see. And
I
they're
have
just
not, again,
they
we don't
just-
want to talk about it too much, but I have not smiled as much as I've smiled listening to these demos and the live stuff. Like ear to ear grin every track that comes through. I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, that sounds so cool. Or,
Yeah.
hearing something I've never heard before when we first saw it and going, why do I need 3 versions of Saint and Sinner?
You
Then
do.
when you hear it, you're like, oh,
do.
yeah.
You hear the cool things like Gene saying, first bridge, second bridge, D, then to B, then to he, and there's a track where Paul does it too, and you hear where they're just kind of playing around with lyrics, like Paul during I Still Love You, he had a particular lyric he kept singing over and over that
Mhm.
made it to the song. Gene had a lyric that he kept singing over and over. It
Like
kind
over
of,
and-
and over and over and
Over.
over, and it kind of made it to the song, but not in the exact form it is. But man, this is I guess we're getting ready to depart back to our own channels, unless you have something to say to kind of
No,
finish this up.
This was cool. I'm glad I had self-control that, yeah, I did open my box and I reached in and got the CDs out, but I'm glad that we did this together, that we got to go through it, because I'd have been sitting on my couch and been going, "Oh, honey, look at this." And she'd have been, "Uh-huh, uh-huh."
Yeah.
I mean, not
Yeah.
not that she's not wouldn't have been excited for me,
Oh
but
yeah. Yeah.
it's really cool to
My
be
wife would have been
sitting with a
excited for me, but she would also been like, "You still get that excited over an album that came out when you were 13 years old?" And I'd been like, "Hell yes, I still do.
yes.
Yes, I do. This is my childhood." So yeah,
But
I do want to tell you, I appreciate you. I mean, waiting on me.
mhm,
I told you several times, I don't expect you to wait, and you had plenty of opportunity to move on without me. But I really appreciate that you gave me the experience of opening this and
yeah,
experiencing it with somebody.
that's what I wanted to do when we first put this idea together. Is I mean, the long idea, we were trying to get Xander and maybe Rick and maybe the
Hmm.
Carusos if they had got the box. Like, can you imagine a whole group of us just going, "Oh wow, check this out"? I mean,
Yeah,
it had been total chaos, but I was
it would
glad
have
that
been it would have been chaos.
you and I were able to do it, and I know Rick has done his video talking about it, and Jeb and Xander, they just got their box, I think, a couple days ago, so they quickly did a quick unboxing. I don't know if Xander's got his yet. I know Jeb did,
I'm
but
thankful that I'm actually going to be able to now go and start watching my dudes channels again because I've not been able to watch them. I like to keep caught up with everybody's channels and what they're talking about,
yeah,
and I've had to
and I
go.
haven't, yeah,
I've had to
I
go
haven't
on there and
watched
look
anybody
and
else's either because I'm
yeah,
like,
I've had to go on there and look and find stuff that they're talking about that's not this, and
yeah, I saw
you know,
them put up their videos, and I was like, "Oh, okay, well, no offense, guys, but I'm going to skip until you like." I watched Jeb and Xander like show the box, and they were getting ready to lift the lid off. And I'm like, okay, I got to stop. I'll I'll come back when Brant and I are done.
yeah. Well, we definitely was good. I'm glad that you did. I definitely got a lot to digest. I'm going to probably dive into it this weekend.
Definitely,
And
same here.
but and like I said, we will have to get together in the future to do talk about these live tracks and talk about these demos because
Definitely,
I definitely want to. I've made it all the way through one time, and I'll probably want to go through it maybe 2 or 3 more times before because it's over 5 hours of music. It's like almost 6 hours of music to go
yeah,
through the whole thing. So, but I'm looking forward to talking with somebody about it. So we'll do
yep,
that.
definitely.
All right.
We'll get that ironed
Well,
out.
I'll let you get back over to your channel, and I'll get me back over to mine, and we can close this out on our own.
Sounds good, man.
All right. See you next time.
See you, man. All right, back here in my own little sanctuary with my creatures. Now I got to go chase them. They're running all over the place. While I go catch them, you can check us out on all our social media outlets. We're on Twitter at RBTE Podcast. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/Right Between the Eyes Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram. You can email the show at rightbetweentheeyespodcast@gmail.com. We're on YouTube, which you're watching right here, or audio if you're listening. And if you listen to us on iTunes, Apple Podcast, or whatever podcatcher you're listening to, rate and leave a review on the show, and we will read that here on the show. Well, that's going to be it for me. I am so glad Brant got to stop over that we could go through this. And now I can knock on Nick and Nico's door and go, "Oh my gosh, you're not going to believe what was in this box." But they probably already watched this. So I can't wait to go through the album with Nick and Nico. But like we did for Destroyer, we're going to wait and have a chance to listen to all of this content. And then next year in January, we will start going through each of the albums that came in this box set. And of course, ending with our review for Creatures of the Night. So on the behalf of Nick and Nico, who aren't here, and my good friend Brant from In My Head podcast, I'm Rob, and you've been watching and listening to Right Between the Eyes podcast. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Take care. Peace.